Hello everyone. First of all, I want to say sorry for the lack of uploads recently. I did know and I did warn that uploads on this channel would be more sporadic than those over on Rifleman More, but I hadn't planned for as long a gap between uploads as we've had recently. Just been extremely busy, so hopefully uploads will pick up a little bit more going forward. What we're looking at in this video is some new kit and equipment which will no doubt feature in future videos, and that is more US Vietnam kit primarily. And this has been very kindly sent over to me by my friend Ian Parker, who's based in the US, who's sent me a large box of kit, some of which I've purchased and sent to him to send on to me, and some bits and pieces which he has picked up for me as well. So hopefully it'll be interesting having a look at these, and that's what we're going to do in the main part of the video now. So here it is, an absolutely colossal box of stuff which has arrived from the US. It's actually double the width that you can see here and quite a bit wider on each side of the frame here. I've fitted as much as I can in frame without being zoomed out too far in terms of looking at the contents. Sent by my friend Ian Parker from the US, which is why it's on the secondary channel, I guess you could say. It's why it's over on RM Military Miscellany. Most of the stuff in here is US Vietnam War related, some other bits and pieces as well. Without further ado, we'll get this moved out of the way. I have undone the tape and so forth on it to make things a little easier. We'll put it to one side here and start picking out bits and pieces from inside to have a look at. So, on the top here, we have, first of all, the US hot weather cap. Thank you very much for this, Ian. I wasn't expecting this. So have a look at the inside. They've got cap field hot weather, OD 106 and then 7 1/8 there, as you can see, the size. Very nice to have one of these. I've been interested in picking one up for quite some time, and it's a nice addition to the collection. Quite an iconic bit of headwear in Vietnam when not wearing the helmet. Quite distinctive, this OD baseball cap. Quite a long bill on it, and I'm not a massive fan of baseball caps really, but I'll make an exception for this. It's an iconic bit of headgear, to say the least. Another fairly iconic bit of headgear is this. I think this is reproduction, but one of the US, or colloquially referred to as the boonie hat. You can see that there. Let's have a look in here. We do have a label in here. So you've got get the light in there. There we go. Hat, sun, hot weather type 2, size 7 1/4. So that's a not very nice thing to have. Obviously more synonymous with the latter years, the Vietnam War. Distinctive bit of headgear, not that dissimilar from the British jungle hat, which had obviously been around for quite some time, including the ventilation eyelets, but using this nylon foliage loop system around here, just a piece of nylon webbing sewn on to make that foliage loop around the side. Again, quite a distinctive bit of headgear. So the chin strap with the leather stop there, as you can see. So I have to ask Ian to clarify. I believe this may well be a reproduction, but very happy to have it. And thank you very much indeed, because it is very useful from a late Vietnam War reenacting point of view, and a nice thing to have for the collection as well, go with all the tropical combat uniform. Next thing along is, there should be several of these. These are the straps for the tropical rucksack. There should be others in here as well. The back straps as well. So these are reproductions, but for the tropical rucksack that I purchased, it has the frame, but it's missing the straps. So these are reproductions from the US, which I purchased and sent to Ian. He's very kindly sent them over to me, sent them on. So that completes that. It's a bit rough, the tropical rucksack I have, so I might want to upgrade that at some point in the future, but in the meantime, they make them usable. I've got a whole selection of socks here, if I can dig them all out in one go. Ian did clarify to me, these are PX bought socks rather than issue socks, which is why they have the commercial tag at the top in gold. You can see that there. Is that the wrong way up? Yep. Distinctive hosiery. So there we are. Should get the light on there so you can see. And they are also labelled on the bottom of the sock here as well. Several pairs of these, slightly different colours. Not sure if there's any significance to that, but thank you very much for these, Ian. Very kind. Very nice to have. Several pairs of socks there. A green hold-all, which I asked Ian about, and he thinks it might be Red Cross or something similar to that. It's very similar to the British pattern, but I'm not aware of British issue hold-alls made in green. So Ian was saying US, but possibly a Red Cross item or something similar to that, or private purchase for that matter. So hold-all there, carrying wash kit items and so forth. a Jungle first aid kit pouch. I think I may have purchased this and sent it to Ian. I can't remember if Ian picked this up for me, which is terrible, but thank you, Ian, anyway. Obviously the various segments in there, sections in there for you to pop your first aid items in. I'll try and get some contents together for this. It's just nice to have. It can be padded out in the interim. The idea of this is, of course, to go on the back of a US Marine Corps belt kit. That's the idea. And there are some further pouches in here, which Ian has very kindly sourced for me, which are US M1961 ammunition pouches. I already had one of these and I have a set of 4, so I'm closer to having a set of US M1961 equipment together. With this, I have a belt, and as I say, the 4th pouch, I have a couple of canteen covers and the suspenders, so I can do a basic belt kit basically, with perhaps a first pattern tropical combat jacket is quite acceptable for early US Marine Corps. I don't have an M14, of course, but nice to have the set of equipment together anyway. And speaking of canteen covers, we have one later war M1956 or later issue M1956 canteen cover with the nylon trim around the edge. Both of the examples I have, I think all 3, including the one that's had A and T added to the US to make it say AUST across the front for Australian use. I think they all have the cotton tape around the edge, so it's nice to have a later example with the nylon edging as you have there. Be interested to pick up another one of these at some point. The next thing to look at here is the second pattern of US 2-quart collapsible bladder canteen. This is a 1968 dated example, as you can see there. And these, of course, were the ones carried in it, initially a rubberized cover and then a nylon cover, and then used right the way through until relatively recently. I believe they may still be used, I'm not sure on that, but used with the Alice equipment long after Vietnam. So quite a long-lived, quite a good design, and you can see collapsible. It's a very thin plastic, and that's why it is collapsible. It does just fold and scrunch up when not in use. So the 2-quart canteen there. We have here, that's something else I bought. This is a later US chin strap for the M1, so a 1980s chin strap. Typically you can't see the illustration on the instructions because of the label there, but this basically forms a chin cup rather than, can't actually see because of the instructions and so forth, but this is the later pattern of nylon chin strap, which forms a chin cup rather than just being a strap. And these were seen through the 1980s. Canadian use as well, so useful from that point of view. I'll just have to try and find a shell to fit this to. I can swap the liners around okay, but obviously don't want to be taking chin straps on and off shells. So nice to have that. It is unopened, so I'm loath to open it really. I might have to try and find another one that's been opened at some point, but we'll see about that. That's the collector in me not wanting to open something that's not been opened already, but we'll see about that anyway. Another US Vietnam War era item is in this bag here. I'll take it out of the bag. You have here wood alcohol, which is fuel for your stove for ration heating, as you can see there. A little ton of those. Thank you for that, Ian. I didn't know that was coming, so that's a very useful thing to have in terms of Vietnam era small kit. A couple of small items here. Grenade ring. Always good to have these. I think I do actually have a couple of these. I found that I forgot I had, but that's nice to have. And a set of ear defenders. Now these aren't Vietnam era. I did a double check with Ian on this. Gulf War onwards in the little square box rather than the round little tub. But carried on a little chain there, and they could be attached, of course, to top pocket button or top buttonhole on uniform, and it allows you to readily carry ear defenders. You can see them through there if I shine the light through. You see the earplugs inside. So that's a very nice thing to have as well. Thank you, Ian. Little box here with some bits in. So these are chapstick. So I've got a tub of sun cream recently, sunscreen, sunblock, anti-sunburn cream, and this is lipstick anti-chap hot climate, as you can see there. I think these are relatively early examples in a metal tube. Later they will be made in plastic. Take the lid off. You can see it's still there inside. Not going to be using that though. It's probably a bit rancid by now, but still there. We have 2 of those tubes there. They were just being sold as a pair, so I ended up with 2. I'm not sure if these saw use with Australian troops or anything like that. I don't know if they would have got hold of them one way or another. The sunburn cream, I think they did to a degree, but whether the chapstick turned up in use with Australian troops, I don't know. But nice bit of small kit for US use anyway. And let's have a look. What else do we have in here? Aha, yes. So we have one example. There were 2 of these. I'm going to have to explain this in a minute, but there were 2 of these. A meal combat individual. So B1 unit here with the various contents. Open this up. Little spoon there, the plastic spoon. Got the sundries pack, the accessory pack. As you can see there, unopened. And the various tins inside there, the can opener, or can I suppose I should say in American parlance, the cans. So you've got there chocolate nut roll, very nice condition, that one. And then turkey loaf, and it said tuna fish, so in theory, the bottom under the inserts here. Let's see what else we have. We have here, oh, the crackers, the B2 unit crackers there, and orange nut roll, so that's interesting. Different contents than what we had on the box. There we are. Tuna fish. So it has a different B1 unit in it, interestingly. But there we are. So, combat meal individual. I'll reassemble that in a minute, just pop these bits to one side for now. There is another one of these which unfortunately has suffered an accident in the journey over, and one of the cans has split. So that's taken a little bit of cleaning up, unfortunately. But thank you very much for those, Ian. Again, very useful items for display. They were used by Australian troops as well. And I think the final item we have in here, as I say, other than the other ration which needs decontaminating, is this box of candy, which I was not expecting. Again, 1960 marked off on the side there. So I'll have to open this up. I'll open it up now, actually, and we can have a look at what's in here. I wonder if the packaging is sort of period specific as well. We'll see if they've reproduced. Let's try and get through this cellophane. Right. Oh, so there we are. All sorts of things in here. I think it's all in relatively modern packaging, but these look absolutely fantastic. Absolute sugar overload in here. So, oh God. Lips, giant lips, candy lips. Fantastic. So this is going to be a lot of fun trying all these. Blackjack gum, blackjack chewing gum. Now I'll have to look. That looks like quite a period appropriate wrapper, so that might not, oh, the barcode there, but that can be hidden away. But that's quite nice to have. I mean, there's plenty of reproduction chewing gum and stuff out there as well. Roundup candy. Candy cigarettes, possibly? Certainly look like it. Looks like it's supposed to be a cigarette packet. Can't get candy cigarettes over here now. You're not allowed. I don't believe you can anyway. I think there was a big thing about them encouraging kids to smoke. Daft, really. I used to have them all the time, and I've never smoked in my life. But anyway, candy necklace. Oh, this is a trip down memory lane for me. A lot of these, of course, still around when I was a kid and still are now. And I've just not had sweets for a very long time. Not sort of hard candy and stuff like that. So. Some stuff here I'm not familiar with, of course, because it's peculiarly American. So I'll have to be careful with some of these, probably from a point of view of nuts. The Payday bar in particular, I would imagine. But we will see. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Ian. Say that's going to be a lot of fun munching my way through slowly. I'll have to be nice and reserved in this and not eat all of it at once, obviously. But that's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed for all of this. And hopefully it's been interesting looking at these bits and pieces as they've come out of the box. So there we are. I hope you found it interesting looking at that. The US-Vietnam War kit will of course feature on the channel going forward. There's quite a bit more of this to talk about. There's already quite a bit in my collection that I want to talk about on the channel. There should be another unboxing video coming up soon as well, looking at some Dutch kit which will be arriving soon, all being well. So if you'd like to see those and you've enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. That's everything for this video. So until next time, bye for now.